Welcome back to UAP Rant. This is episode 7 in the series now, so starting to get through them. Today we're going to continue on talking about orbs and rods, functional morphology and kinematics, mainly because if you've done or viewed my previous episodes, we were looking at how their structure could be or could consist of nanomaterials, and we're looking at whether spectral analysis in the future is going to demonstrate that. But we also considered the fact that there may be a biological component to these nanomaterials, and we started linking capacitor induction models to electrochemical models in 4D electric space and 3D magnetic fields in an interdimensional anomaly. So the first 6 podcasts have been talking about that. To give it some more context today, we're going to look more specifically at the structural morphology of rods in particular, but some orbs as well, because in previous episodes I've alluded to the fact that the center rod is surrounded by what we think is a spindle or one or more spindles that seem to rotate around the rod. Now, we've got high definition videography, photometry of these objects at 30 frames per second. So an image analysis software is quite revealing in looking at the structural dynamics of these things. Now, what we've found in the course of applying those models, and the reason we applied those models is because when you look at the rods in sequence and using image enhancement, these spindles, and there seems to be more than one, are rotating around the orb, and there's a couple of examples in particular where we can definitely see that there is an oppositional movement of these spindles around the rod between each other. Now, in orbs, there are some sequence photos from videography of orbs that have got a bisected ring around it. Now, we can't tell whether that's rotating in the frame sequence, but I think that's because the rate of rotation is the same as the frame speed. It's a bit like a helicopter. When you film a helicopter and its rotor speed is the same as the frame speed, it looks like the blades aren't moving when it's flying through the air. So same sort of thing. But in rods, we can definitely see that there's some movement. Now, what's interesting is this counter rotation is not new, but I'm seeing it on these UAP, and I'm certain that that's what's going on, because historically counter rotating plates, magnetic semiconductors, and their association with UFO technology has all been looked at before. And in fact, the people that have looked at it have very quickly run into problems in their career, and their careers have taken a different direction, and all their work has been shut down. These counter-rotating plates that are connected to repulsion field technology has been looked at. By we can go back and look at this technology through Viktor Schauberger. We can go to Otis Carr. We can go to Douglas Torr and Dr. Ning Li, looking at this repulsion field theory and spinning, rotating plates. So what I think is going on is that whatever the material composition is, I'm calling it the skin, is allowing this build-up of charge by spinning these or rotating these spindles along a center rod. So it's a bit like that double capacitor dielectric I was talking about in previous models, so they can build up a charge. That's the way to build up a charge. If we assume that we've got all our ducks in a row, and we've got, from what I said, that space is electric, so in the interdimensional anomaly you've got 4 space geometric potentials building up energy, releasing it as kinetic energy in 3-dimensional magnetic space in a vector field. You then have an object capable of harnessing that available energy, and this is where its structural dynamics come in and its functional morphology. Because if it wasn't able to harness that energy, why would there be any point in having something that's structured like that? Now, I think more UAP technology in the form of craft is how they work as well. So To me, there's a natural phenomenon that harnesses this available energy. We've then got some sort of technological phenomenon existing or co-occupying that same space. And I think the people that look at this are along the right track, but have always been sidelined, even though their work is very interesting. I think it's that missing branch of science that we're looking at. So that's my rant for today. That's where we're at with orb and rod technology at the moment and UAPs. And I look forward to discussing it further in subsequent episodes.